When I first quit smoking weed, I was faced with one extremely challenging question. What is my escape going to be from day to day life? How am I going to escape my day to day reality? Where is my break? What is my break? And I'm sure if you're quitting smoking weed, you have found yourself asking this exact same question. Now, I've stumbled upon my own answers to this question unknowingly, but instead of explaining my story to you guys, I want to read to you the last 3 pages of Dr. Anna Lemke's book, Dopamine Nation. I don't think anyone could have said it better. The title of the chapter is Lessons of the Balance, page 231. We all desire a respite from the world, a break from the impossible standards we often set forth for ourselves and others. It's natural that we would seek a reprieve from our own relentless ruminations. Why did I do that? Why can't I do this? Look at what they did to me. How could I do that to them? So we're drawn to any of the pleasurable forms of escape that are now available to us. Trendy cocktails, the echo chamber of social media, binge watching reality shows, an evening of internet porn, potato chips and fast food, cannabis, immersive video games, second rate vampire novels. The list is really endless. Addictive drugs and behaviors provide that respite, but add to our problems in the long run. Something I'm sure we could all agree with Dr. Anna Lemke on. What if instead of seeking obliviation by escaping from the world, we turn towards it? What if instead of leaving the world behind, we immerse ourselves in it? Muhammad, you'll remember, was my patient who tried various forms of self-binding to limit his cannabis consumption, only to find himself right back where he started, progressing from moderation to excessive consumption to addiction at an ever faster cadence. He went hiking at Point Reyes, a nature trail just north of San Francisco, in hopes of finding refuge in an activity that had previously given him pleasure, as he once again tried to get control of his cannabis consumption. But every turn in the bend brought fresh memories of smoking weed. Hiking trips in the past had almost always occurred in a state of semi-intoxication. And so, instead of being an escape, the hike turned into an agony of craving and painful reminder of loss. He despaired of ever being able to wrestle his cannabis problem into submission. Then he had his aha moment. At one particular visit point where he had explicit memories of smoking a joint with friends, he brought the camera up to his eye and pointed it to a nearby plant. He saw a bug on a leaf, focused the camera further, zooming in on the beetle's right bred leg, straightened tendons, and ferociously hairy legs. He was mesmerized. He was zooming in on a beetle. His attention was snared by the creature of the crosshairs. He took a series of pictures, then changed his angle and took more. For the rest of the hiking trip, he stopped to take extremely close-up pictures of beetles. As soon as he did so, his cravings for cannabis decreased. I had to force myself to be very still. He told me at one of our sessions in 2017. I had to achieve a perfect stillness to take a good in-focus picture. That process grounded me, literally, and centered me. I discovered a strange, surreal, and compelling world at the end of my camera that rivaled the world I escaped to with drugs. But this was better because no drugs were needed. Many months later, I realized Muhammad's path to recovery was very similar to my own. I made a conscious decision to re-immerse myself in patient care, focusing on the aspects of my work that had always been rewarding, relationships with my patients over time, and immersion in a narrative as a way to bring order to the world. In doing so, I was able to emerge from the compulsive romance reading into a more rewarding and meaningful career. I was also more successful in my work, but my success was an unexpected byproduct, not the thing I was seeking. Dr. Lemke says, I urge you to find a way to immerse yourself fully in the life that's been given to you, to stop running from whatever you're trying to escape, and instead to stop and turn and face whatever it is. Then I dare you to walk toward it. In this way, the world may reveal itself to you as something magical and awe-inspiring that does not require escape. Instead, the world may become something worth paying attention to. The rewards of finding and maintaining balance are neither immediate nor permanent. They require patience and maintenance. We must be willing to move forward despite being uncertain of what lies ahead. We must have faith that actions today that seem to have no impact in the present moment are in fact accumulating in a positive direction, which will be revealed to us only at some unknown time in the future. Healthy practices happen day by day. My patient Maria said to me, "Recovery is like that scene in Harry Potter when Dumbledore walks down the darkened alley, lighting lampposts along the way. Only when he gets to the end of the alley and stops to look back does he see the whole alley illuminated, the light of his progress." Here we are at the end, but it could just be the beginning of a new way of approaching the hyper-medicated, overstimulated, pleasure-saturated world of today. Practice the lessons of balance so that you can too look back at the light of your progress. The end. Now, she goes on with a little bit more in the book. Upon reading this book and concluding it recently, I've realized that in my own journey of quitting weed, I have found becoming an addiction recovery coach. I have found that I really love connecting with people, whether it be as a chiropractor or as an addiction recovery coach or as someone just talking to another human being. Something that I lost throughout weed addiction, something that I once loved, then lost, and now have reconnected to on a whole nother level. It's pretty amazing what can happen when you quit if you really work hard at it. And I never knew how to answer the question, what do I do, Dr. Frank? What's my reprieve? And I would always tell people, well, it's my hobbies. It's this, it's that. It's the things you dive into. Only now, after really understanding those last 3 pages, do I fully comprehend that it's not a reprieve that I was actually seeking from the world. It was that I needed to be and wanted to be re-immersing myself in it, just on my own terms, not on addiction's terms. I hope that helps you guys out. Check out the book Dopamine Nation. I linked it in the video description and the pinned comment.